Hi guys. Okay, today we're going to talk about place value and rounding. I know that you did a lot of this in second grade, so a lot of this is review. The place value especially is going to be review for most of you. The rounding is going to be kind of review as well, but third graders usually have a little bit of trouble with rounding, and it takes us a little while to get through that. So I want to make sure that we get plenty of practice with rounding. That way you're comfortable with it when we come back into class, because it's something that you're going to use all the way through school. So we want to get really comfortable with it. That way you're not confused as we move on to other things. Okay, place value. These are things that you talked about with Ms. Shackelford. It's nothing new. Basically, you've got your ones digit. You've got your tens digit. You've got your hundreds, your 1,000s, 10,000s, and 100,000s. It's important to know where each place is and how we represent them using cubes. And that's something that we'll do a lot in some of these videos, and I'm going to try to get you all some digital resources as well, because I know that you don't have the physical things at home to work with, but you can make some out of paper or just anything that you have laying around the house. So anytime that we're talking about a ones, it's just one little cube. Anytime we're talking about tens, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got right here, we call this, sometimes I call them a 10 stick, but that's not the right term. They're called a long. Okay, so you've got your cube, which is 1. You've got your long, which is 10. If you put 10 of these together, then you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is a flat. Okay, so 100 is a flat. Your cube is when you put 10 of these flats together. Okay, that's going to give you 1,000. So you've got your ones place, your tens place, your hundreds place, and your thousands place. Just a minute, guys. Okay, these are some of the actual physical ones that I have in the classroom. So if you look, this is the cube, okay? It's worth 1. It's only 1 unit. If I stacked 10 of these end to end, I would wind up with a long. So you can see one of these is equal to one of these. So I've got 1 and I've got 10. If I put this and this together, how many do I have? I've got 11. I have 10 plus 1 is 11. If I stack 10 of these end to end, I've got a flat. And if I stack 10 of these back to back, and I've only got 4 here, then I'm going to have this big cube, okay? So what I want you guys to do right now is to get your math notebooks out. I had everybody get just a normal notebook that you can take notes in before school started. So if you can go grab that, it needs to be something that is only dedicated to math, though. It shouldn't be something that you doodle in. It shouldn't be something that you do all of your notes in or your language arts or whatever. Just get something that is dedicated to math. And I'll wait while you get that, and you can pause this screen while you go grab it. You're going to need a pencil. You're going to need that notebook, okay? On the front of that notebook, I want you to write math notebook. That way you know anytime I say grab your math notebook, that's the one that you go to. Anytime that you need to go back to anything that we've done together, you're going to know exactly where it is. It's going to be important to stay really organized during all this, okay? So go grab that, and when you get back, I'm going to give you some notes to put inside your math notebook. Okay, guys, now that you've got your math notebook, open it up to the very first page, and this is the first page. You're going to label it at the top, place value. Right? I want you to draw this chart for me. I'll give you a close-up of it so that you can see what it is that I want you to do. Just one of them. So you're going to need to make boxes. Okay? The first box is going to be your ones. The next box is going to be your tens, then your hundreds. Sorry, that's sloppy. Yours is, I'm sure, not that messy. This is going to be your thousands. This is going to be your 10,000s. This is going to be your 100,000s. And something that we probably won't get to, but you can go ahead and put, is your millions. Okay? Make sure that y'all can see that really well. Okay. Once you have that drawn, I'll give you just a minute. We're going to put the physical representation of what each one of those stands for, okay? We're going to draw out a picture of our cubes, our longs, our flats, and our blocks, okay? Okay, so I've got my physical magnets here that I'm going to put up, and you're going to draw these in your math notebook. And I'm going to have it down here for you as well so that you can see those. So underneath my ones place, I'm just going to draw a cube, just one tiny cube, okay? Underneath my tens place, I'm going to draw a long, okay? That can be as simple as this. Sometimes when we are kind of shorthanding it, we can just draw a stick. That's why I call it a 10 stick sometimes. Okay, for your hundreds place, you've got this. So it winds up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've actually got 10 sticks in here, and it should look something like what you see right here. And then for your big cube, which represents the thousands, to draw that, I need to draw a box, and then it has these things coming off of it. Okay, just do your best at drawing those. They don't have to be perfect. So when you look back in your notes, I want you to remember that this is 1,000, this is 100, this is a 10, and this is a 1. You can pause this if you need to. We're going to give these names as well. So under each one of these, I want you to write that this is a cube. This is a long. This is a flat. And this is also called a cube. Okay? So get all of that into your notes, and then we will come right back and we'll practice this just a little bit. All right, let's practice a little bit. So if I give you a number, see if you can draw out the physical representation using these, okay? So the first number that we're going to practice with is 33. First of all, we need to figure out the place for each of these digits. Now, if you look back at the chart that you drew, you know that the first digit to this side is going to be the ones place. This, it's going to be the tens place. Just looking at this is going to make it really easy for me to represent this. I can just say, oh, there are 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. And there are 3 ones. 1, 2, 3. That's how I'm going to represent 33. Another way I could have done it is by knowing 33 has, what's the biggest one of these that I can use? Can I use this hundreds flat? No, because 33 is much less than 100. Could I use a 10? Yes. I could say 10, 20, 30, 40 is going to be too much. I need to take that back off. So I've got 30 here. I only need 3 more, 3 ones. So 30, 31, 32, 33. I've got 33 ones. Okay? Let's practice another one. This time I actually want you to write it in your notebook if you didn't do the last one that way. I want you to try it before I help you. So I want you to represent 74 using these units for me. Take just a minute and draw them out. This time I'm going to draw it instead of using my magnets because you don't have magnets at home. Okay, so really quickly, I can look and I can see that the 4 is in the ones place, the 7 is in the tens place. So without really doing a whole lot of work, I know that I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 longs, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. 74, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. All right? In your notebook, try this one for me. Okay, pause if you need to. Ones place, tens place, hundreds place. So how many ones do I need to pull up? I need 2 of those. So you can draw 2 cubes. I need 4 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. And I'm going to need 2 big cubes, hundreds. And the way that you'll represent those is to draw your big ones. You don't need to put the lines inside like we did earlier, as long as you can show me that it's a big one. It needs to be much bigger than the small cube that you drew over here. Okay? So this is 242. All right, now that we've got that down, I feel like most of that was probably review for you guys. This is the stuff that gets a little confusing in third grade. Once you get the hang of it, it's like second nature. But when you first start learning it, sometimes it can be confusing. This is rounding, also known as estimating. So I want you to turn to your next page in your math notebook. I want you to title it Rounding. And I want you to put a little slash, estimating. Something that some kids get confused about when they're taking a test, it'll ask them to estimate something. And they're like, well, I've never estimated anything before. Rounding and estimating are the same thing. They're two words that mean the same. So don't let that word confuse you. It's the same thing. Okay. If you look here, hold on, and I'm going to show you this definition so that you can write it down. Okay. Rounding is just a method to shorten a number for easier use. I want you to write that inside your notebook right now. So you're going to write down the word rounding, underline it, put a little dash. This is how we write definitions in our notes. And then you're just going to write this definition. You're going to write all of these words for me, okay? Go ahead and pause this video so that you can get that written down. Okay, the next thing that I want you to write down is friendly numbers. Okay, friendly numbers. This is something that is really going to help you as you get older and you start paying for things, or you just start seeing a lot of numbers and you do things in your head a lot, okay? If I told you that you owed me 99 cents, I said that thing cost 99 cents. And you ran to your parents and you needed to tell them really quickly how much money you needed. You probably wouldn't tell your parents that you needed 99 cents. What would you tell them that you needed? You tell them that you needed $1. It's just easier that way. Anytime that we pay at the store, we don't count out 99 cents. If something costs 99 cents, we hand the cashier $1. She gives us back a penny. Friendly numbers end in 0, okay? The reason that we call them friendly is they are just super easy to work with. So they end in 0, and they're easy to use. So put that in your math notebook, please. Okay? So instead of saying I have 38 kids in my classroom, I'd say I have about 40. It's just easier. Anytime that we round, we're looking for those friendly numbers to round to. I want you to draw a number line on your paper. The easiest way to do that is the way I'm doing right now. Draw a big long line, start at 0, 10, right in the middle, put a 5. In between the 0 and the 5, you're going to make 4 little marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. In between the 5 and the 10, you're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the easiest way to learn how to round. If I wanted you to round to the nearest 10, the number 4. Let's do 4. Tens end in 0, okay? They're the friendly numbers. Am I going to round down here, or am I going to round up here? You want to pick the one that's the closest. Is 4 closest to 10, or is 4 closest to 0? Well, if you can't look at your number line and tell, you can count. In between 4 and 0, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. Okay? In between 4 and 10, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hops. You want to round to the shortest distance possible. We're going to round down because we only had to jump 4 times to get back here. We had to jump 6 times to get up there. So we're going to round down to 0. So if we're rounding 4 to the nearest 10, it's going to be 0. Now, I'm going to tell you all a story. Once upon a time, there were these numbers out for a hike in the woods, okay? They start off, they're doing pretty good. They're rested, they're good to go, you know? They're feeling it, they're all in it and everything. Their goal is to hike all the way to 10. They started at 0. Their goal is to hike all the way to 10. Well, they start along the path. And they're hopping along, and they're hopping along. And they decide, you know what? I'm thirsty. There's water here at this friendly number. There's water here at this friendly number. They get thirsty when they're here. Are they going to want to keep on going because they're closer to the water there? Are they going to want to go back because they're closer to the water there? Obviously, they're going to want to go back because they're closer to the water there.